Hello, Veto121 here, welcome back, and we are Let's Playing Final Fantasy XII International, and in this episode we're going to be taking on Omega MKXII. My strategy for this guy is to get Lure on Ash, so most of his attacks hit Ash, since he's already Berserk. Yeah, I want his attacks to hit Ash, because his laser does have a chance of inflicting Berserk. A low chance, but it does have a chance, and if it hits my two mage type characters right now, that could be bad. Yeah, because if they're berserk, they can't cast spells like reverse, for example. And also too, when Ash is dealing damage to this guy has this annoying return damage ability, so basically every time she deals damage, she'll take back like a certain percentage of that damage, so yeah, it's kind of tricky. It's not too hard though the lure and reverse strategy should take out this guy no problem. Of course it sucks when your party leaders die. As long as we're able to draw most of this guy's attacks away from crap. This guy got lucky. Extremely lucky. Why is it whenever I try to record, this battle goes bad? Jeez. I had no problem the last time when I was just screwing around. Gotta like the Genji equipment with that extra combo percentages. Helps out a lot in this fight. Or any fight for that matter. I think this guy's got about 1 million HP. So yeah, it's not as bad as he's mad. Not even close. Combo a little bit more often than she is right now. As far as elemental stuff, probably mentioned this the last 3 times I tried to record, but yeah, just use non-elemental stuff against this guy. Don't mess around with elements. They'll just absorb most of them. Yeah. The main thing you want to do in this battle is just make sure his attacks are lured on a certain character. Of course, he's getting extremely lucky right now. Yeah, the damage he does is boosted once he gets in critical HP, which sucks. And his defense is also very, very increased, which also sucks. And Fran's Berserk, which sucks a lot. Damn it. Sheep. On 3 up. Once this guy gets down a little bit lower here, go ahead and use Zodiark on him. So I believe that's non-elemental as well. At least his final Eclipse attack is. I don't know about his other one. Close. Alright, I think it's time to summon an Esper into this battle. Finish this guy off. Go Final Eclipse. Hopefully this does enough damage to kill him. I would show off Ultima instead, but Ultima's fully elemental and that'll probably heal the boss, so yeah, that's obviously not what you want to do in this battle. Yeah, we got him, and he drops loot too. Yeah. Oh. Huh. Alright, and his head falls off. Awesome. And that, as far as I know, is the last optional boss in the game. As far as I know. Congratulations. Alright, come on. Hurry up. Go. Alright, whatever you do at this point, do not leave the screen. Pick up this loot over here, because you can miss it if you don't pick it up. Alright, we get the Omega badge. And we don't need to be here in the Great Crystal anymore, so I'll just meet you out. Alright, we're here in Dalmasca Estersand by this particular shop here. It doesn't matter what shop you do this at, actually, but what we're actually going to do now is sell the loot we just got. We got the Godslayer's badge from beating Yizmat. We want to go ahead and sell that. Got the Omega badge from Omega, of course. And we got the Lushang's badge from that obnoxious freaking fishing minigame. So yeah, let's go ahead and sell all those. And new Bazaar goods are now available. And yes, we can purchase the Dragon Crest, which is a replica of the legendary blade said to have slain a fell worm that long ago preyed upon the Eastern Kingdoms. With a sword such as this, one might write new legends. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick this up. Alright, and we get the Wyrmhero Blade. Alright, let's check out this weapon. This is a pretty nice weapon too. The unfortunate thing about this weapon is you can't get it until you've defeated pretty much all the toughest enemies in the game. But as you can see here, it has 131 attack power, it's wholly elemental, and what the game is not telling us right now underneath is that when you equip this, you get auto bravery and auto faith. Another interesting thing about this weapon, it doesn't have a license. Any party member or any job class, especially in this version of the game, can equip the Wyrmhero Blade. So I could give it to Bosch, Fran, Balthier, hell, I could even give it to Vaughn. I could give it to Pinello if I wanted to. Yeah, this is a pretty good weapon. It gives you auto bravery and auto faith, which is pretty damn good. Pretty powerful weapon. I would have to say the only drawback to this weapon is the fact that it's holy elemental, and if you're fighting an enemy that absorbs holy or is resistant to holy, you're not really going to do that much damage. But still, anything that is weak to holy, I mean, this is like basically the Excalibur on steroids. It's freaking awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, for doing those three things: the fishing minigame, beating Yizmat, and fighting Omega, we get the Wyrmhero Blade, which is very, very nice. Very nice weapon. I might be showing off how to make the Tournesol next. It's a pain in the ass to get the ingredients for, though. I don't know. But yeah, we've done pretty much all the hardest stuff in the game. The only thing left to really show off is like rare monsters and other side quests. And another thing that's interesting about the Wyrmhero Blade is that it's actually a reference to Dragon Quest III and Edric. So yeah, this is Edric's sword from Dragon Quest III, or I think in other translations they call it Edric Loto. So yeah, they actually have a Dragon Quest reference in a Final Fantasy game, which is really cool. I like it. So yeah, there you go. Alright, showing off the Wyrmhero Blade here. This is a pretty good weapon. The only downside of this weapon is that it takes forever to charge. But as you can see there, as Bosch attacks with the Wyrmhero Blade, it actually sounds like the old sound effects for the Dragon Quest games, like the classic sound effects that they've used for pretty much all the games. So yeah, it's really cool. And when he dodges attacks, it has that little, you know, that little, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain if you don't hear it, but if you play Dragon Quest games and you remember the sound effect for when they actually dodge attacks, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, every time you attack with that weapon, it sounds like, you know, a Dragon Quest game, which is really cool. I've never gotten this weapon before, so I've just found that out. And yeah, the Wyrmhero Blade actually combos quite often. I imagine if you equip it on a character with Genji gloves, it combos more. I think it's like an 80% combo chance with this weapon. The only drawback is that its charge time to actually attack is kind of slow compared to other weapons, but for an 80% combo chance, it's still pretty awesome if you're fighting a tough enemy. So there you go. Alright, yeah, one last thing to show off here. Let's see how it sounds when we dodge attacks. Are you gonna dodge? Come on, dodge. There we go, yeah, see? Just like Dragon Quest. So yeah, That's pretty cool, absolutely. And that's all for this episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XII. In the next episode, I might attempt to turn a soul, or I might try and find some rare marks. This is Battle 121. See you next time.